Hi guys, Spurs Talk here, back with another video. In today's video we'll be talking about this evening's game, which is at home to West Ham in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Can we get a place in the semi-finals? We're going to preview tonight's game. Let's crack straight into it, and I hope you're all well. Let's start with the team news, because I've got some interesting news for you. Antonio Conte reports that the squad is now clear of COVID-19 issues. Yes. And we prepared to face West Ham in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, which is tonight at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Wednesday evening. So that is tonight. And if you're uncertain what the Carabao Cup is, it is a League Cup, which is the name for the League Cup. In terms of wider team news, there is good news on Christian Romero, who's been out since sustaining a hamstring injury playing for Argentina against Brazil in World Cup qualifying back in November, but that is countered by Ryan Sessegnon picking up a muscular problem after performing so well against Liverpool on Sunday and ruling him out of this tie. So you've got good and bad news. Continue watching to find out what the good and bad news is about these two players. Speaking at his pre-match press conference for tonight's game after training on Tuesday, so he's speaking yesterday about today's game, Antonio explained, all the players are now negative, which is good for us. As you know well, with COVID you need a bit of time because for sure many players at this moment are not fit, because they've had to face this situation. But the good news is that all the players are available. We have a little bad news in Ryan Sessegnon. He had a problem at the end of the game against Liverpool on Sunday. He's the only player with Christian Romero who's injured. That's why he probably got substituted for Sergio Reguilon. Speaking earlier to Spurs TV, Antonio told us, Romero is out, but he's improving. We're happy for the player, especially because when you have this type of injury for sure, your feeling is down. Now he's starting to work. The new scan was good, and I think in 3 weeks he can come back. So that's good news. No COVID cases. Now Romero is back, so that's good. So one positive, but one negative thing, and that's Ryan Sessegnon. He had a problem at the end of the game against Liverpool. We hope he recovers very soon from his injury because he had a good game and he's a very young player who needs to take confidence. He did play really well in his left back role against Mohamed Salah, kept him in his pocket, which is impressive because Salah's been unstoppable this season, but you know, Salah's like a ghost. You had nothing from him. The Sessegnon was incredible. He needs to play with So Antonio Conte continued saying, about he played a good game. He's a young player who needs to take confidence, but for tomorrow he's not available. He needs to play with continuity. He's a young player, but physically strong. He's very fast, good with his left foot. He's a good prospect for sure. He has to avoid these types of injury. When he was asked about Ryan later in the press conference, Antonio added, I think 10 days, so that's 2 weeks. He had a muscular problem at the end of the game against Liverpool. For sure, we need to find a good solution with Cess. I have seen in the past he suffered a bit from this type of injury. We have to find a resolution with the medical department to help the player. So that is the team news. So no COVID cases, which is good. Romero is going to return in about 3 weeks. His scans come back good, and he's working. He's getting better. Bad news, no. Sessegnon's done what Reggie's done, and what Sessegnon done a lot for Fulham and also Spurs in the past is get not just muscle fatigue, but muscle injuries, and I think similar to Sergio Reguilon, be out for a couple of weeks. So that is the team news. Next predicted lineup using the tactics board hasn't featured for a while, but it's back in action from now. So against Liverpool we played basically a 5-3-2. We're going to keep that back 3 or 5, what you'd like to say, but change it in midfield to make it 3-4-3, so 3-4-2-1. Sorry, to get it back to the usual system under Antonio Conte. I'm going to be telling you my predicted lineup because that is the formation. So, because it's the League Cup, you often play a second keeper, so I've gone Pierluigi Golini in goal. Another chance for him to impress. Obviously, with uncertainty over Hugo Lloris's future. Davinson Sanchez, I thought he done well against Liverpool. Very crucial block to stop them from scoring. Eric Dyer, who Conte came out and said yesterday that he could be one of the best central defenders in the world. He really believes in the long-term plan with Eric Dyer. Ben Davies, who also done well. That whole back three done really well against Liverpool. Sergio Reguilon. As I said, I read out that team news about Ryan Sessegnon getting that muscle injury and to be out for a couple of weeks. I didn't know that at the time. That was why he substituted for Reguilon. But so Reguilon fills his role. He's going to probably come in anyway to give Ryan Sessegnon a rest after that good performance. Harry Winks. I thought he done really well against Liverpool and deserves to keep his place just about ahead of Oliver Skip, especially during this busy Christmas period. But important you refresh and renew the team. In comes Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, back from COVID-19. He's back and he's fit and he's ready to go. And I will start him against West Ham. Important player in an important game against, to get to a trophy we can win and to get to the semi-final against a fitter team that we don't like. Emerson Royale, he done alright against Liverpool, but there's definitely still room for improvement. Lucas Moura there. And also Heung-min Son, who caused problems. So you got Lucas Moura who came on. Obviously, I think he was one of the ones who had COVID-19, so he came off the bench. But as I said, for Son, getting that goal against Liverpool and doing very well. As I said, for Kane, he's now only on, although he's only on 2 Premier League goals for the season, he did get that second goal. Hopefully that can boost his confidence. So there is my predicted lineup. So you now know what it is. Next, predicted score. Before I tell you my predicted score, in this video below, if you submit your predicted score in the comments below, it has to be in this video and before the ball kicks off at 7:45 tonight. You get a chance to shout out, so you just have to guess your predicted score. You don't have to, it's optional, but it's just a bit of fun if you want to. Submit your predicted score, and if you guess it correctly, I'll give you a special mention, special shout out in the next video. It's just part of fun, during these tricky times, keep us engaged, keep us happy. As I say, you don't have to play, but if you do, it has to be in this video below, and it has to be before the ball kicks off at 7:45 this evening. Thank you. Next, how to watch. Tonight's game at home to West Ham is a Carabao Cup game, so it's basically a League Cup game, and it's the quarter-finals. It's a 7:45 kickoff, so it's 19:45 and 24-hour clock, so it's 7:45, 7:45, and it's on Sky Sports main event and Sky Sports Football, so you can pick between the two. But it's a 7:45 kickoff. Obviously, coverage will start earlier, perhaps at 7:30 or 7. But it's, as I said, 7:30 kickoff. Sky Sports main event, League Cup. There you go. Next, travel information. If you're travelling to our home game against West Ham, obviously because there's some issues with transport at the moment, so I just want to clear everything up with you. Have these daily, obviously match day travel news just to keep you up to date. Here it is. Fans attending our home Carabao Cup quarter-final tie against West Ham United tonight, which is a kick-off 7:45 p.m, which I've already told you, are asked to take note of the following travel information. Following the government's implementation of its COVID-19 autumn and winter plan B, new protocols are in place for match-attending fans. Supporters are strongly encouraged to familiarise themselves with these new protocols and plan their journey to arrive and enter the stadium early. We recommend supporters familiarise themselves with the latest government guidance, as usual, on staying safe while using public transport, which includes face coverings and social distancing where possible. More information on this can be found in the Spurs official app or on the government website. But as you know, all these things are important to stop us going into the lockdown. So wear a face mask and keep your distance. Supporters are advised to check for cancellations to services before departing from the stadium. Last train times. In the event of a draw in normal time, there will be no extra time, and the match will be decided by penalties. So that we got knocked out under Mourinho against Norwich. I actually went to that game. We got knocked out the FA Cup though on penalties. Just go straight to penalties. Okay, no faffing around. You'll be home in plenty of time. Supporters are asked to take note of the last train times from the following stations. Victoria Line southbound to central London at 12:16 a.m. So at 12:16 in the morning. These are late times because it's 7:45 kickoff, and the game won't finish, for example, at 10:15. If it goes into penalties, it'll be even later. Victoria Line northbound to Walthamstow Central, which at 12:55 a.m. Greater Anglia from Northumberland Park to Cambridge at 11:44 p.m. Greater Anglia from Northbound Park to Hetford East at 11:58 p.m. Greater Anglia from Northbound Park to Bishop Stortford at 12:13 a.m. Greater Anglia from Northumberland Park to Stratford at 11:11 p.m. Greater Anglia from Northbound Park to Liverpool Street, which is at 11:45, so 11:45. Greater Anglia trains then operate from Liverpool Street until 12:55 a.m, so 5 to 1. London Overground from White Hart Lane to Chesford at 12:07 a.m. London Overground from White Hart Lane to Enfield Town at 12:22 a.m. London Overground from White Hart Lane to Liverpool Street at 11:47 p.m. London Overground from South Tottenham to Barking at 12:02 a.m. So that's the last train times. Stations now, starting with White Hart Lane. Supporters are advised to check for train cancellations before attempting to travel pre and post match. Obviously, and it makes sense. Avoid any, inconvenience. 8 northbound trains per hour from Liverpool Street will call out White Hart Lane prior to the match, including 2 Greater Anglia services. 6 southbound trains per hour will call out White Hart Lane, 4 of which will arrive from Enfield Town. Post-match, 4 trains per hour will operate in each direction. Supporters travelling to Liverpool Street post-match are reminded that Northumberland Park services have twice those capacity of White Hart Lane. White Hart Lane is a fully accessible station. Northumberland Park. Supporters are advised to use Northumberland Park if using Greater Anglia services, as it is a shorter distance to the stadium than Tottenham Hale. Perfect. Trains from central London will depart from Stratford or Liverpool Street, and supporters are advised to check train times before departing. Prior to the match, 5 to 6 northbound trains per hour will call out Northumberland Park, 3 of which will arrive from Stratford. 8 southbound trains per hour will call out Northumberland Park, with 2 services each arriving from Hetford East, Broxbourne, Cambridge and Bishop Stortford. Post-match, 6 northbound trains will depart Northumberland Park, with 2 each for Hetford East. Cambridge and Bishop Stortford. 9 southbound trains per hour will depart Northumberland Park, 4 to Stratford and 5 to Liverpool Street. This includes 2 Stansted Express trains per hour. All train services are shown on www.nationalrail.co.uk. Tottenham Hale and Victoria Line. There is currently no lift service at Tottenham Hale London Underground Station. Supporters requiring lift access are advised to leave the Victoria Line at Finchley Park and take either the W3 bus from the Wells Terrace bus station or the higher frequency 259 service from Seven Sisters Road. I remind you of this every match day. Victoria Line services will be operating every 2 minutes to Seven Sisters in both directions pre-match. Post-match services in both directions will operate every 3 minutes until 11 p.m, when they are reduced to every 4 to 5 minutes. Going off the stations and going to queue management. Queue management systems will be in place at all stations. Supporters are asked to respect and work with staff at our stations. TfL buses. Prior to the match, W3 will follow its normal route, but the 149 and the 259, 279 and 349 services will be diverted away from the high road at least 2 hours before the game. Supporters are advised to check for delays due to roadworks before travelling. Post-match, the TfL bus services will return to normal operation as soon as possible after the local road closures are lifted on the high road. More information on road closures can be found below in Spurs official app. Cycling. For supporters wishing to cycle to the stadium, bike stands are available at Tottenham Community Sports Centre and St Francis de Sales School, which are both located on the high road. Dedicated bicycle parking is also available on street around the stadium. Although our bag policy still applies, stewards will be briefed regarding cyclists to carry helmets, puncture kits and removable seats into the stadium. Shuttle buses. The club is operating its 2 shuttle buses services from both Alexander Palace Station, Greater Northern Line, and Wood Green Station, which is a Piccadilly line, to the stadium. Road closures. Please note, our major event day road closures will be in place as usual. So that is the travel information. I would like to add one thing there, not travel, but still basically important information. Obviously, 'cause it's against West Ham. West Ham see it's their cup final. Obviously, we don't get on. It is a derby, so there'll probably be a bit of violence, a bit of after, if you like, before and after the match. So just wanted to let you guys know, be prepared for fights and outside the stadium, because it's a rough game. If you haven't been before, it's not going to be the most friendliest game to go to, but that's why we want to win, and it's against West Ham. We hate West Ham, so it makes want to win even more. Although this is it for discussing today's video about tonight's game, I've still got a couple of important subjects to discuss with you, so please stay watching till the very end, where I discuss these 2 subjects that have happened during the week. Firstly, bad news, we're out of the UEFA Conference League, obviously, because we couldn't go ahead the game at home against State Rennes to decide if we went through to the out of the group stage of the Conference League to finish in 2nd place. So at the top of the group holder, State Rennes, game got called off, didn't it, due to COVID outbreak at Spurs camp. And I told you that neither clubs could find an agreement to reschedule this game. So it was left up to UEFA, and they've said that we're eliminated from the game and handed us 3-0 loss, which means they're out, which I think is extremely unfair. I think both teams should have been given a point. I can understand us going out because obviously couldn't reschedule the game, and as it stands, we would have been out anyway, but to be handed a 3-0 loss I think is a bit harsh and frustrating, but it is what it is. So I just wanted to let you guys know we're out the Conference League, so focus on winning trophies now in the FA Cup and League Cup under Conte, maybe league next season, you never know. And finally, over the last couple of days, all Premier League clubs on Monday had a discussion whether they wanted a circuit breaker or not, so basically a short break. The majority voted against the circuit breaker, so we continue as normal until the new year, so that's brilliant. We continue as normal for now, obviously for just for now. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. It is a bit longer than usual, but I had a lot to discuss with you guys. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're new. Thank you, and thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, but before I go, tonight, as you know, quarter-final against West Ham. I hope we win, because it's against West Ham, isn't it? And it's a trophy we can win. We hate West Ham, and I'll bring you my post-match reaction immediately Thursday morning. So it'll be there for you guys to watch. Thank you. I didn't tell you my predicted score. My fault. My predicted score, I think we'll win 1-0 at home. Goal from Harry Kane, back in confidence and scoring against West Ham. Brilliant. Thank you guys. And as always, come on you Spurs.